Welcome back, everybody, to the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. We're going to get into some cool stuff today. We've kind of shown you really kind of basic, simple, foundational elements of the poker model with a short stack, with a medium stack. But today we're going to show you how when you have a large stack, you can really get aggressive. You can do things that and take small risks that you couldn't do with shorter stacks. Again, this is how we like to do it. Other players will tell you other stuff. Here's what's worked for us. So just to reiterate, do not get caught up in doing these things every hand or thinking you have to do it at all, really. What I'm going to show you today is how you can look for, 4 or 5 things that kind of add up to an opportunity where you might make some kind of bluff. All right, we are not promoting bluffing all the time, but let's get into it and hopefully you can learn something today. So I am holding the worst hand in poker, 7-2, 7-2 suited, 7-2 offsuit is the worst hand, so this is way down there. But notice the blinds are 400, 800, and I have 64,000 chips in my stack. So I am a large stack, according to the poker model. I have over 50 big blinds, which means I can take a slightly different approach to hands, and I can look at them in a way that allows me to be more aggressive, and I have a few more opportunities than I would if I had a medium or a short stack. The reason for that is if you lose 10 big blinds with 20 big blinds in your stack, there goes half your stack. If you have 100 big blinds and you lose 10 big blinds, you still have, that was only 10% of your stack. So that's kind of where we're coming from with this. All right, I'm on the button. I have 7-2. I don't really care. I'm probably going to fold this hand when I first come into it, but let's see how the action plays around. All right, we have a raise from under the gun +2 to 1,600, and I'm on the button here. So again, I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm not just jumping into any type of weird thing. I'm going to actually look at all the things that I should before even considering bluffing here. Number one, do I have a large stack? Yes, I do. I'm over 40,000 chips. There's one checkbox. Number two, are the players behind me, do they have deep enough stacks that if I made a play and they went all in, could I still fold the hand and not be essentially putting them all in because of the pot odds and all that stuff? If they had 10 big blinds behind me and I make a raise here and someone picks up pocket aces, well, guess what? They're going to go all in. Now I'm going to have to be calling it all in with 7-2. So I want to avoid that. I want to make sure that the stacks to my left are over, I could even say around 30 big blinds or more in this situation. So even 24,000 chips is close, but I think we're okay there. So the 2 stacks to my left are around 30 big blinds or higher. Check. The next thing, did my opponent make a standard raise or did they do something weird? Did they raise 5 times the big blind? Because a lot of times that is a less experienced player who probably has a big hand and isn't just bluffing. So we want to look at the size of the raise that we're going to play against. And this one was pretty standard. He just doubled the blind, which tells me that he might have an understanding of the idea that he can come into a pot raising with fewer hands that are, monsters. All right, and that's going to increase our chances of being able to get him to fold. Lastly, his stack. So he is right on that 20 big blind threshold, which means if I make a play against him, he has 2 choices. He either has to go all in or fold. Now, if he goes all in, then it'll tell me that he has a big hand. If he folds, then my bluff worked. Now, how much do I raise? It's usually around 2.5 times the big blind. Depending on stack sizes, you can scale that a little bit up or down, but that's not going to really make or break the play. But again, all of these things are lining up, so now it's my time to make a bluff. I didn't just say, I'm going to make a bluff with 7-2 here no matter what, and get caught up in some weird situation. So I don't have to do it, but I'm thinking, look, I have all these things in my favor on this hand, so let me raise him with 7-2 suited to 4,000, which is 2.5 times his bet, and let me sit here and think that I'm folding to any other raises in this hand. I guess there's a chance someone could call behind me, which then I would just play it like any other hand, qualify my hand on the flop, and make plays based off that. But really what I'm looking to do here is just get everybody to fold and move on to the next hand. So you can see that, the player on my left in the small folds, the big blind folds, it's back on the original razor, and he folds. And I win a pot there with 7-2 offsuit. All right, so again, do not get too crazy with this stuff. Make sure you have a bunch of stuff working in your favor when you're making these plays. Don't do it too often. And again, we're just here to show you that we want you to be a creative player and understand that if your chip stack is high enough, there's a whole nother, world of moves that you can make just using the poker model as a framework and realizing, okay, I'm over this stack size, so now I get to do all these cool stuff. And we will show you how to do all those cool things. So again, thanks for checking us out today. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye. As always, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. For more training tools and Texas Hold'em advice, subscribe to our YouTube channel or pay us a visit at thepokermodel.com to see our weekly articles, bi-weekly podcasts, and other episodes of the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. Until next time.